Hi everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and I am here today with a layout for Cocoa Vanilla Studio using the Happy Days collection. I'm delighted to have been invited to join the team on a permanent basis. So this is my first layout as a proper design team member instead of a guest designer, which I was delighted to do last month and the month before. So yeah, hello, welcome back. Here is a layout using that rainbow paper. You know exactly what it is that I'm talking about. That fabulous paper there. Now it is a very large rainbow and I look at it and I think how beautiful it is, but then I worry about how to use it on a layout without it looking too overly cluttered. I decided to try to reduce the size of it. Now I thought initially about using just some of the arcs and having a much smaller rainbow, but I just loved the colours too much and I ended up wanting to use them all. So, of course, always my problem. Here I am just having a fiddle around with the first few arcs of the rainbow to see if that will look right and if I could work with that, which I could have done, but I just wanted to use all the colours. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting the rainbow apart completely and I am distressing the edges. And then you can see now that I've got all of my arcs cut out and I'm just now trying to arrange them onto a background. So I've gone for just a white background, cardstock background, and obviously my rainbow will be coming off of the right-hand side of the page because that's the orientation of the rainbow. And I'm also looking at a few of those wonderful words that I'm obsessed with fussy cutting out. So I'm wondering whether some of those will work. Just pulling a few out there and just layering them up and trying to work out exactly what my layout will look like. I have a photo that's not printed yet. It will be in a minute. I was just putting a different photo in there the other way around as a placeholder to see if my layout would look right. And now I'm just going through some of the ephemera and picking out a few bits that I think might work. Trialed that idea there of including the frame as an arch, but no, it didn't quite work. I just pulling out a few things that I wanted to use, so the cloud and some fruit and some flowers. And here I am, skipped forward a little bit, and I've got my photo printed. Now, I wanted to mount it on something, and I really wanted to use yellow, but I'd already used both sheets of the yellow paper in my collection pack, and I'd also used both sheets of the yellow from my A5 paper stack too. I obviously really like that one. I just used a little bit leftover paper from the A5 paper stack. I'd already used quite a large portion of it, but I'd got a little offcut that was okay, and it just mounted two sides of my photo. So I figured that was okay. I don't mind an offset photo anyway. So here I'm using the word awesome. It's one of the chipboard titles, and I'm sticking that above my photo, going across the rainbow as well. I'm going to use the fussy cut word super, and that's from the definitive paper that I fussy cut out, so that makes my title super awesome. I've also got a fussy cut awesome as well, and then I've got a few little bits of ephemera already pieced together. Now the reason they're pieced together is because that love sticker is a sticker and therefore it's sticky, and I had already used that in my mini album, my rainbow mini album, and then I peeled it off and needed to because I needed the page for something else, so a decorative page had to go. Then I had this little cluster all ready to kind of together, and some of those clouds as well, they are fussy cut that I fussy cut when I made that mini album as well, and I had too many clouds and I just didn't use them, so they were just left over and spare. That's out of the little ditzy heart paper. So I thought this all works really well with the clouds go really well with rainbows, and that little cluster of embellishments at the top there that had already kind of put together. I think I added the rainbow tag, but otherwise that was a little cluster that I literally just picked out of my my mini album. Bottom right of the photo, I'm building up a little cluster there. I wanted to use the fruit, the lemons and the oranges because on this day we had a lot of fruit. There was a fruit stall at the Rainbow Run It just made sense to me to put the fruit in. And then I've got my clouds, and I'm now adding some floral ephemera. So this layout, it's quite a busy layout. It's got quite a lot of things going on because it has the very large rainbow on the right hand side, and I've got my photo, which is quite a large photo. Large for me, it's 6x4, actually a bit smaller than that, but similar size. And then I've already got clusters. So where do I go from here? I was just a bit worried about overloading this already very, very busy layout. Oh, I should have mentioned also that I actually machine stitched all of my rainbow arcs. So once I'd stuck it onto the page, off camera, I went off and machine stitched along each one of those arches. And that was partly to keep it in place, but mostly because I like the look of the machine stitching. It was a little challenging to get the layout through the machine in the angles that I needed it to, but it was definitely worth the effort, and I'm really happy with how it all turned out. It's not perfect everywhere, but then machine stitching for me rarely is perfect. Okay, so I'm still just going to, fiddling around. To be honest, my layout doesn't change much from this point, and there's still a couple of minutes left on this video, so you'll see me moving things around and deciding when if enough is enough at some point. I do love these words from the definitive paper, so I've fussy cut out another title, best ever, and I've put that down to the bottom right, and you can see me adding that there, and I'm going to raise that up on foam pads as well. I like most of my items to be raised on foam pads, of course, because it gives dimension and the little shadows underneath, and I just think it all looks better if it's raised and edges distressed as well. So there we go, that little title is in place as well. So I've got two titles effectively on this page, so super awesome and best ever. And then I'm just going to add a few little bits and pieces. Oops, sorry, I just dropped something. A few little bits and pieces. So the hearts from the little puffy heart stickers, they're kind of like enamel dot type things, but they're puffy. And I've just added a few of those, dotted a few of those around there. I'm right down to the last few. So I'm being very sparing with them. And then I've got a new pack of ephemera here, so I thought I would go through and see if there was anything in there that I could use on this layout. So I love the wavy banners. I've got the blue one that says the best of times, and the purple one that says love that smile. And I really liked that little waving flag but that says yay, but that just didn't make it onto the layout. I just didn't want to build another cluster, and I didn't think it would look right in the ones that I'd already got. So like I said, sometimes I have to restrain myself and think not less is more, but sometimes too much. I can go too far with embellishments, mainly because I love them all, so therefore I want to use them all. I'm too excited by all the products, so sometimes I have to restrict myself and stop myself from doing that. So I'm pretty much done. I don't know if I do it on camera, but I write my journaling onto here we go, I'm going to do it. So date on the rainbow strip, and then a little bit of journaling around the arc of the yellow rainbow arc. So just a few words along there. And then I'm just going to finish off a few splatters of white paint. All right, so there we go. That is pretty much my layout complete. I'm glad that I stopped there and didn't overload it too much, and I love the way it turned out. So I hope you have enjoyed seeing that come together. You can see my stitching now on these close-ups. I hope you enjoyed seeing it come together. Thank you very, very much for joining me today. That was Nikki Rowland for Cocoa Vanilla Studio using Happy Days.